Ladies and gentlemen, we are back once again with your HCS Open Series 4K, where today we're going to be crowning a champion. And after all the love and support you guys have been showing and continue to support, which, by the way, I can't believe how the Halo community has come out and showed love like this. Now it's time to get into the game, though. Now it's time to see who's going to go into that grand finals. Will it be FaZe? Will it be SSG? Why not be Reckless? AK, why not be Cast? And I got my boy Active with me. Active, I hope you are hype as I am.
This is Halo, and here we go. Spacestation Gaming versus FaZe. We're about to pop off. One of these teams has to perform well to make it to that grand finals, where Optic, the world champion, is sitting, waiting on the throne for someone to barge in. Will it be Stellar of Spacestation Gaming, or will it be Frosty of FaZe? We're gonna find out right now.
This tournament has been absolutely so hype. How hype would you say, Tim? Has it level 1, level 2, level 5, level 6, a level 2, level 18 of a hype train? I think it's been about maybe 20, 25, a level 18 hype train in the chat. The 9-4 lead, so very early lead in favor of Spacestation Gaming, but I'm sure we have plenty of Halo to go, especially with FaZe on that seaside setup early. World 2 up high, forced to play the ball. Spacestation now collapsing, so about to have yet another reset here.
The reset will come out with 2 dead from FaZe. We're about to hit level 20. You guys are phenomenal. We got some incredible Halo action here, and I just once again, real quick, just want to thank everybody who supported this organization in LVT, funded by you, the community. And here we go. Snakebite on screen. This overshield is coming up, so he's got to get that kill onto Penguin. It looks like Penguin ends up staying alive. That's going to be a huge lift for him with that overshield coming up, and with FaZe in control of this outside. Him staying alive gives Spacestation the numbers now with Renegade in the death screen.
And the rifle in the hands of Frosty. Excellent shot to get himself that triple kill, taking down his former teammate in Eco, while FaZe able to move that ball backwards over toward the seaside bound, doing a great job of hiding his presence, but you can't hide from the snake, the ultimate hunter in this garden here. Snakebite comes in, able to take down 1, almost 2. That heat wave and overshield combination is absolutely deadly, but somehow both teams end up 2 down. And once again, that ball ends up being played, and it's only 26 points have been accumulated by FaZe, but 26 scrappy points, and they continue to add to it.
Yeah, Snakebite did a really good job there of just taking the attention of 2 players. There was some scrappy time that happened on the tower. That got us to 25, and now we're on the way towards that 40 mark for FaZe. It looks like a push will be had here for Spacestation Gaming, but that initial couple of kills is going to net FaZe some more time on the board. We'll see if they can continue this and continue to get these slays.
The player I'm looking out for is Penguin, currently at 9-4 at the moment here, passing that ball over before getting his head taken right off his Penguin. But, you know, he has a 1.32 KD across oddball. And all of, he's 8th, and everybody that's participated in pool play so far, with 16 of the best teams in North America, he is 8th amongst players. I think that's absolutely incredible. You're seeing on display right now, Penguin, not only that objective mastermind, but also slays out when his team needs him to the most. But right now, the team needs to deal with World 2 on the sandbag side. With the sniper rifle, takes down 1, but Stellar not going to be another victim there.
Yeah, that was a good job by Stellar. When you see a sniper stand still like that, they're lining something up. Stellar matches that. He stands still as well. Maybe a little bit of a micro strafe right there. Ends up winning that fight. That's going to be huge. That provides him with this snipe. And now they dogpile on the outside. That's 2 dead for FaZe, but 3 down on SSG. And that just means some more time on the board for FaZe here. They're getting this scrappy time, and it's starting to add up.
And really, that's what it is, you know, scrapping 10 seconds here, 13 seconds there, and it really has added now 55 to a 24 lead for FaZe. Snakebite once again having that heat wave in hands, but it looks like SSG are able to get it out with the quickness bound. Has the sniper rifle, but look at the ball rotation all the way from the C side to the B side. SSG now having to bring it right back in, and you still got Frosty just waiting, looking to pick apart the defensive SSG. Starts off with the BR, almost gets the first one. Just gonna quickly slip out of that situation, but you know Penguin, he's the ICS.
Yeah, Frosty was sitting there waiting for him to poke out, no shields, but unfortunately what that did was buy time for SSG to rotate over towards the nest side to give some assistance there. Frosty ends up going down because of it. 2 down for FaZe, but look at what they're doing. They're consistently rotating the ball, getting 10 seconds like we talked about here and there, scrapping up the time, and it's really working out for them. But at some point, it's gotta be a case where they just overextend for this ball, and I think that just might be what happened. That ball is not played, and now possibly a little bit of a setup for SSG.
It's funny that not too long ago, FaZe were talking about individually them as oddball players, it being one of the weaker game types, but my man Snow Stats is telling me that the stats say otherwise. Actually, FaZe are the second best oddball team in the league right now. As far as their second best game type that they have, which is incredible how they've been able to step up in oddball games, and hopefully they can do it against some of the best in the world. SSG, known for their objective efficiency, known for their aggressiveness, and how they're able to control the pace in the game. Not known for going 3 down and leaving Stellar by himself. He's going to try to rotate this ball towards his spawning teammates. Luckily, Penguins here on the green side. Unlucky for them, War 2 has the sniper.
Yeah, Snakebite provides that pressure as well, but look, even with pressure on the B side, Snakebite is going to hold the ball. He ends up dropping it to get the cleanup onto Penguin, and again, it's that scrappy time, picking up every second when they can. With 38 seconds remaining, Tony, this lead for FaZe looks like round 1 could potentially go to them without anything magical from SSG, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're FaZe. Enter this losers bracket final with a standout round number 1. That's exactly what they're doing.
Another big double kill out of Frosty. He's able to take down Eco while also chasing down Penguin while one shot. He literally damaged, if not killed, every single player on SSG within that cycle. And look at how many points FaZe were able to accumulate. 88 points and counting. Renegade doing everything he can to stay alive. Penguin down to 1 shot. Eco has to come in and back him up, and they got to back out of the situation. The ball's all the way on reset. War 2 able to take down Penguin before getting into that setup. And now the rest of FaZe overwhelming this overshield side. They only need 12 more seconds. SSG, what are you gonna do?
What's impressive to me is how FaZe is so spread out on the map, but they're also able to get the sight lines on their teammates. They're just being so impressive, and that is it for round number 1. FaZe are gonna take round number 1 in this oddball game losers finals. Whew, the body shots are coming out already.
Penguin's so confident, man, just lost the round decisively to FaZe right there, and he's still like, I'm still gonna body disrespect you. I'm still going off right now. Look at my stats. I'm going ham. 18 and 13, but War 2 matching that energy. 17 and 8, make it 18 on the board right now after War 2 taking down Bounce. Snakebite going right after Stellar. With those numbers, FaZe looks to get aggressive, not only getting the slays once again and clearing out SSG, but also snatching that ball and getting early over toward their side of the map. FaZe, we talk about the likes of Optics, like the SSGs, even phases. They're so good at multitasking. You're worried about one thing, 2 things. They're thinking 3 or 4 steps ahead.
Yeah, look what they've done. They've isolated 2 players from SSG. They get the kills onto both, and that's a perfect time to do so with OS coming up as well. I believe that Shroud screen is going to potentially give this OS to FaZe, and they do get that one, so this is gonna be good for their first start on this second round here, and they get another 2 kills. They're able to stagger these spawns, and they're able to work so well together, get this overshield, get the 2 kills, and now get the ball and bring it back to A, but Bound is trying to stop that from happening, but it gets taken out.
Hey, yo, Snakebite, relax. I don't know what's happening. You're supposed to be an objective player. What are you doing here right now? Snakebite, stepping up. We talk about it, man. He does whatever his team needs it to do. If he has to man all the ball time, he'll do that. If he has to drop 20 kills, 12 assists, and go back to being that leading damage dealer on the map, he has no problem doing just that. And FaZe gonna thrive because of it. Another 3 down for SSG. FaZe are leaving them staggered right now, searching for answers. Meanwhile, they are dominating the Slays department here in round number 2, and it continues as Renegade punishes his former captain and Stellar. A couple of grenades go in to deny access from Bound. He's going to be taken down as well here, and FaZe continue to soak up that ball time. Eco gets himself a double kill, but he's on the wrong side of the map. FaZe, they rotated towards B.
I absolutely love that about FaZe. Wait a minute, they had to stop there, but one of the things I love about FaZe, as Penguin just completely slams through the defensive wall, here. But one of the things I love about them is just the fact that they can play all those roles. Tony, you said it perfectly, right? The ability to mold to whatever needs to be done. Look at the scoreboard here. You got Renegade, one of the best players in the game, 36 seconds of ball time. Royal 2, that back player who's also 22 and 13, 43 seconds of ball time. Whatever needs to be done, this FaZe squad can mold to make that happen, to get the task done, and that's exactly what makes them one of the best teams in the game.
Like Luffy from One Piece, they the elastic men. I don't know, they come in like rubber, just bounce, it don't matter. Whatever they needed to do, that's what FaZe are doing. It's they fight with another back smack onto Stellar Eco with the follow through, but you still see two members of FaZe in that exact same spot. They're keeping that same energy. Bound goes down, Sniper coming up, ball towards the mid map. Both teams baiting it out right now. This next round of Slay is so important. The first one going towards FaZe. Frosty getting away with that sniper rifle. So far, FaZe winning a lot of these 4v4 engagements, and they're also winning the game right now.
Oh my goodness, Frosty almost gets that flick onto the cut side. He's got Sniper, but you see he's doing a very good job of staying alive, but also putting the damage out. And look at this, he reads it so perfectly right there. Knows Eco's gonna come back through cuts, has nowhere to go because Snakebite is up top, and he gets to clean up. It's things like that, those little micro plays that happen that make Frosty such a great player.
Frosty manning the tower side right now here as somehow Spacestation Gaming do have a few points of a lead, but an oddball. I'm not comfortable with it. I'll be more comfortable if SSG are able to man this overshield, which is coming up at any second right now. FaZe having presence on the C side. It looks like Spacestation is going to push up over towards the A. Penguin coming in and being a nuisance, changing the direction, changing the reticles of FaZe to focus on him, while the rest of SSG hopefully start to move in position for the overshield. Renegade getting closer and closer. It looks like he snatches it up. SSG end up going 3 down. That's Frosty's cue to rotate this ball over. Able to stay alive here. FaZe once again in the setup, and once again SSG on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah, and you see that rotation, right? They drop the ball, they get it rotated over, they scrap up this time, and again, they're able to continue to add to this. 30 seconds and counting for FaZe, and they've got a setup on that tower.
34-21 lead. Back in favor here of FaZe. That overshield finally gonna run out, but Renegade still having that heat wave in hands, and Frosty's backing him up perfectly. Looks like Penguin gets caught over toward the sandbag side. Bound over in the shadows, coming out of the shadow realm. He'll go, but over to the respawn screen as Eco now the final player alive for SSG. And as we know, there's only so much you can do by yourself, but he still takes to the skies, going airborne with that repulse. The rest of SSG able to get aggressive here. That's gonna force the play ball. FaZe get right back into slaying mode, and looks like that's gonna work out. Frosty finds one, but you're still down in numbers.
That one is going to be huge, though, because now Eco is isolated on the tower side. Penguin does come to his assistance, and that's something that they do very often, right? To be in a spot to assist each other as players. That's what these top teams do so well. 2 down for FaZe and 2 down for SSG, so this might be an opportunity to maybe get this ball. But 4 dead, that's going to be a big 4 dead. That ball will go into FaZe's hands once again, but not only that, OS is coming up, and all of SSG are trapped on B.
You know, Tim, I often try to say that, you know, stats don't define or don't always define a game, but as of right now, the stats are showing me that the Slays are heavily in favor of FaZe right now, and it's no wonder why they have been looking so dominant at round number 1, and the same thing in round 2. They inch away at that ball time, then when the time comes, they drop it, make sure they secure their Slays before committing to it. They're just playing great keep away from SSG, and just great fundamental Halo. Secure your Slays, go for the objective, and thrive to it. But finally, SSG find the kills they're looking for. 37 points in counting. It's very much doable, especially with Bound with the sniper rifle. 5 bullets to work with, but nades are gonna put him down to 1 shot somehow. Bound able to stay alive, but he has 2 members of FaZe pushing on up.
That's a big live by Bound because he's able to do that, right? This snipe on the defensive end is going to be huge, and it's going to continue to add time to this board for SSG. Bound is starting to heat up, and again, this is what you want to see out of him. You know, you always have Bound in those talks, one of the best players in the game, and you know, we see it very often, but there's times where you know, consistency is not really there. He needs to step up here for this squad. He's one of the big pieces to make this win happen.
And with SSG not playing the ball and FaZe quickly putting them 3 down, you have to believe that that was a blunder right there. SSG needed to get that ball off of the map, especially as FaZe are getting the slays, but everything happening so fast, everything happening at the same time. There's just 31 seconds on the shot clock here. Penguin knows what he has to do. Bust right through the green side. Excellent damage onto multiple players. Snakebite gonna go down because of it. Eco throwing a couple of denial grenades as that ball is stuck here over towards the bottom B, but SSG put FaZe 3 down. The objective efficiency is reigning true. This is the SSG that we want to see. They're about to take the lead.
Yeah, they're very close to the lead here. And like you said before, FaZe is outslaying them. And when SSG get outslayed in oddball, they win 0% of the time. Are they going to be able to change that stat right now? As Bound is in the backside of B, just putting shots in, just trying to defend as much, putting as much damage as he can. But look, the pinch comes through. FaZe is from both sides. They finally get that play ball, though. Wow. With 4 seconds remaining for SSG, FaZe have to get these slays, all 4 down. Now they look for the spawns.
And only 13 seconds on the shot clock as well, so you have very little time for error here, but FaZe somehow able to get first hands on ball. SSG are spawned quite a bit away. Frosty ends up getting away with that overshield here, and now Bound pushing forward. Frosty pressing Eco, but Eco gets himself a huge kill at that. World 2 gonna try to soak up all this time. There's 5 seconds left. He's not able to do it here. Renegade is nowhere to be found. Just 3 more seconds, but it might go into an overtime. They need 1 more second. They grab it, they drop it, and that's gonna be it. SSG taking round number 2. Woo!
What an incredible round number 2. Guys, the game is not even over yet. We are now tied. SSG come through and clutch it up. 1 second was on the clock. He picks up the ball, gets the last second of time to give them the lead, and then drops it. Incredible play, but Tony, we still have another round to go.
Wait, another? What do you mean? My heart can't take any more of this. I thought the series was over. What do you mean? This is only game number 1? What do you mean? Round number 3 here. And wow, what a clutch situation for SSG to break that setup of FaZe, despite the fact that Frosty had the overshield as well. And somehow SSG were able to make lemons out of lemonade, but can they do it 2 rounds in a row? That they gonna deal with Frosty, but was he able to play the sniper off the map? I guess that's the question. Snakebite with overshield does that damage onto Bound. Looks like Penguin gonna bait and switch out over toward the nest side, but the rest of FaZe already know that's coming. They anticipate it. They put SSG 2 down, and now they're once again getting ball.
They're doing such a good job of controlling the space on the map. You see there's a player on B. Of course, Bound does make it through. That's what Bound does best. But they've got a player on B. They've got players on tower. They know the spawns are going to come out on OS, and they're able to control those and stagger the spawns. SSG did a really good job right there, though, of getting the slays necessary in order to push this, and now they're in the control. They're in the control of this game.
Eco onto the tower side. Not only able to have that elevation, putting max damage onto Snakebite, but feeding that information to the rest of his team. That allows Bound to play really aggressive over towards the sandbag side. Can't find the kill. Even gonna drop down a few whiffed shots there is gonna allow Snakebite to do that itty bitty damage to him. Renegade somehow pulls off a double kill. Eventually SSG go 3 down, and FaZe somehow looked good at during that engagement.
Yeah, just the slays are on their side right now. They're winning the individual fights, but not only that, FaZe is playing really well together. You know, we see a lot of individual plays out of FaZe, just due to the fact that you're talking about the Frosty, the Renegade, the Royal 2, as Bound gets a double coin for that trip. It's a great stick to stop him, and also get this overshield by Frosty. Incredible job here. He's gonna rotate the ball now to his teammates that spawn on tower.
Frosty overshield and ball in hands. He sees it spawning players over towards the dummy side, even sees Renegade coming over towards green, so takes that shortcut angle right through pillars, but SSG busting through. Frosty passing that ball off and immediately getting to work in the slays department. Again, we talked about it, securing your kills before getting the objective. Tim, I guess that's what FaZe do best.
They do that best, and I really love right there how Frosty was on mud, right? Renegade goes down in the anchor position on B, so Frosty comes in with the overshield, cleans up the kills, and continues to get ball time. Look at the ball time on the side of FaZe. Just very even across the board, as well as those slays. Incredible job to get the slays and to make sure to have that objective efficiency as well.
I keep telling y'all the assault rifle the best gun in rank, but y'all don't want to believe me. Y'all just saw one of the best shots in the game in World 2 put it to work. Hopefully y'all start believing me on this as Renegade. Rotating back over toward the mud side. Frosty and World 2 are in front of him, so he has that cover that he's looking for. Frosty taking damage from the dummy side. Sniper rifle in the hands of Bound, trying to do as much damage as possible to slow down this FaZe roster. Somehow they get the 3 down. Penguin takes down Renegade. Bound rotating quickly. World 2's ratting over. I was gonna say World 2 is just sitting over towards the nest box, and if he was able to stay alive, that could have been huge.
Yeah, just playing sneaky like that is so very important. Unfortunately, they do take him down. Unfortunately for him, but Bound, what a great kill. Utilizing the shroud screen on the top of tower. Him being top tower right here with the snipe is going to be a thorn in the side of FaZe. They've got to take him out first. They've got to make sure do as much damage as they can. Again, look at that. They set up the bait and switch. Renegade goes to the back and takes out the top player on tower, and now he has control of tower, and off this they can potentially push, get control of this overshield, and then potentially go for this ball break.
But it looks like a snakebite that's able to sneak away with that overshield, the sneaky snake that he is. And now you see a 4-man push from FaZe, not taking the long routes, going right through the mid-map with these extra shields. With that confidence, they put the damage down, able to take Bound and Penguin back-to-back. 3 quickly going down for SSG, and without wasting any bit of time, they steal that ball away. Stellar having to be patient. You know he wanted to drop down. You know he wanted to put in shots, but there's only so much you can do by yourself. So trigger discipline is key. And now Stellar has a flank.
Yeah, and exactly. That's where he's setting up for, right? He has the flank. You know, he doesn't give them that free information. Because of that, he's able to go around, get rolled too. But Snakebite is in your base, and he gets him as well. Not shooting his gun there in vet. Just got him the double kill and the break, and got SSG the setup.
And he's still doing work with that heat wave, almost able to take Renegade down as well. Penguin is able to play that ball, so FaZe not able to get any more free points here. Ball's played off the map. A reset coming in. Slays are what's most important so far. FaZe have been winning the Slays battle. Renegade being chased away by Eco. Former teammate on former teammate crime. I don't know what's going on there, but World 2 gets that ball. Eco not gonna allow him to escape. 2 down for FaZe, and with that SSG move once again into a setup, or at least try to.
Yeah, and that ball placement right there, right? Of course, World 2 does go down. I think he thought he was going to get away, but they get the information of Eco picking up that ball. That's more information for FaZe to know exactly where he is. They're able to take him out, and with this lead, every kill matters.
SSG have definitely been catching up in the kills department and been looking a lot cleaner, but cleaner doesn't automatically mean the win. In fact, they're actually down 62 to 82, 20-point deficit they have to deal with, and that's going to be so tough. You got to keep the ball out of the hands of FaZe while also somehow simultaneously working on the overshield as well. You got to deal with the snakebite, which seems like impossible at times. Snakebite immediately snatches up that overshield after getting the huge kill, goes right back in and working on Bound, while SSG are able to, I guess, lessen the lead just a little bit. FaZe, they get those resources, and now they have that advantage over this next round of Slays.
And that's the big thing, right? FaZe have gotten the last, I believe, 3 overshields in a row, and that's playing a huge factor in this lead. Yes, Snakebite has been the catalyst in that, and now he's getting that ball time. 37 and 32 out of him. Look at the score line. Oh my goodness. Penguin makes a massive play right here, but Royal 2 knocks him into his teammates, and they're able to continue to get this ball time.
We talked about before, if there was one player that had to be the X factor here for SSG, it had to be Penguin, and he starts to push, but Bound gets a huge double kill, snatches the ball off the lifeless bodies of FaZe, and now rotating it away over toward the green side. A long rotation having to be made by FaZe. You only need 5 seconds, but SSG are keeping you at bay. Back-to-back kills from Snakebite and Frosty does force the play ball out of Penguin. Just a few points separate these two teams, but SSG have just lost every single member on the map. FaZe are able to grab that ball before anybody on SSG even able to spawn up. Game number 1 is stolen by FaZe. SSG with the great comeback, but somehow it wasn't enough, Tim.
And then we talk about the overshields right there. The overshield got back smacked, but FaZe was able to, Royal 2 was the big player right there, able to play his life, repulse that player back. They're able to scrap up the kills there onto B, force the play ball, and then the beautiful Slays ended up getting them that ball time on bottom center. FaZe clutch up game number 1, a very close couple rounds there. But now we go to game 2, and my goodness, the slays on the board. SSG, you said it yourself, Tony. They started to catch up in that slays department.
And that's what it was, like a really slow start by SSG in that round number 1. Let's be honest, they were getting massacred. They were they were getting dominated in that round number 1. And even in round 2, FaZe did start off hot, but eventually SSG started to get more comfortable. And now going into that round number 3, we're talking about like, look how close this game is. 95 seconds. We have SSG almost in a full setup here. Every kill matters. It looks like Snakebite and FaZe were able to get the first one. It just kind of dominoes from there, which forces the play ball. But just imagine if SSG were the ones to get the first 2 kills. Game's over. They win. Now we're talking about a totally different result. So I'm not totally mad. I think SSG definitely started to feel more comfortable in that game number 1, and I believe that's going to carry over because that's one of FaZe's better game types when it comes to the stats. And Slayer, maybe that's one of SSG's better game types.
Well, from what I'm hearing from Snow's stats, Slayer, FaZe is all in the top 10 of KD for this weekend. So they are obviously performing really well in the Slayer department. You can see with the start of this game, 4-2 is the lead. World 2, Heatwave and Camo, he can make a big impact here.
Early lead for FaZe. World 2 snatches up that camouflage and Heatwave combo, and Spacestation Gaming already 2 down. So already you're seeing FaZe getting aggressive, but with those resources going to be even easier. Stellar tries to break out the utility side. There's nowhere for him to go. World 2 on the offside takes down Stellar, and now FaZe get right back in position playing ping pong with these spawns. But oh, SSG spawned over towards Yellow Fridge this time. So now all of FaZe, they just turn right around.
They're pushing these spawns very aggressively. You see a lot of isolated players right there. Eco was isolated. And not only that, Royal 2 is pocketing these shocks. He's going to utilize one to try and back a player off who's pushing through the flag here, but not going to be able to get the kill. That's the slippery penguin on ice here. Not making his kill easy. Because of that, Royal 2 has to back off and look at the triple push right here.
Wow.
This is what they like to do. They like to stack up here. There's one player that's Frosty. Frosty gets the first kill, but Penguin's going to stop the rest. This camo's coming up, so this top center control is important, but Stellar breaks it open with his push at top center, but he only gets 1.
I admire FaZe for not overcommitting to that spawn trap. You know, when you get like a 12-3 lead like that, it's very easy for you to keep pushing forward even when you lose that one advantage. But I admire FaZe for like stepping back and like slowing the game down, but also SSG answered right back in and somehow still find the kills despite the fact that FaZe slowed the game down, and now we're on equal playing ground. But Stellar not able to win the pivotal fight against Renegade right there, but Eco did get away with the camo, and I think that matters more.
Yeah, so now we're even with camos. FaZe has 1, SSG has 1, but the value, I would argue, out of FaZe's first camo, much greater. FaZe hold the lead here, 19-12. We're looking to continue to extend that lead with Frosty on your screen. The teamwork out of this squad just looks so incredible. They're able to get the sight lines on so many of these kills. You can see in that assist column.
What started off as a huge lead for FaZe now becomes only 5. Bound getting a beautiful angle here from the utility side. The flanking player comes in, but don't worry, Bound. Eco has your back. Frosty eventually gets taken out. Snakebite hits a huge nade to clear out the utility side. That's going to alleviate a bit of the pressure that SSG was trying to create. Penguin still wants to try to get a little extra in there. Eco comes in with the cleanup kill, but now the rest of FaZe cleared them right out of the yellow base. Eventually, SSG gets slowed down, and FaZe hold on to their lead.
Yeah, that slowdown is important because now they're within 5. They brought this game back just a bit. But the clean kills that FaZe is able to get right there. 2 kills, no answers. Finally, they get an answer onto Frosty, but that's 3 down, or 3 kills with only 1 kill to trade. Make that 4 as Renegade gets another.
It's always fun watching Renegade screen. He just slips in, gets his kill, slips right out before you know. Like he's like a superhero. He's in and out before you even know what happened. Just right to the shadows he goes. 13 seconds until active camouflage coming up. World 2 over toward the P side, not for long. Double push out of Eco, and Stellar gonna clear him right out. Renegade going right back at Stellar. Heatwave trying to get the double kill. Looks like the teamwork gonna make the dream work for FaZe as they try to move quickly in for that camo. It looks like FaZe are getting yet another one. Renegade has to stay alive, but Eco not allowing that to happen. Big kill by Eco, Scoreboard not looking good for SSG still.
And that's such an unorthodox play by Renegade, right? He goes out pretty much no shields and slides in for that camo. At this high level of play, you know, maybe in your matchmaking games, you expect a player to do something like that. But at this high level of play, you don't expect players to take risks like that. And that's what makes Renegade so unpredictable. You know, able to make risks like that work out. And they did it right there with that camo. The Stellar, that high ground, gonna be very deadly. So Snakebite makes sure to take him out quick.
It's crazy to me because you're seeing a double-digit lead now as FaZe are quickly starting to move into the 40 kill mark. Eco with the big double kill, but the question is it enough? Is it too little, too late? What I'm seeing from FaZe and what they're doing as dominant as they're looking here against SSG on Slayer Aquarius, they're looking determined. They're looking like they want their rematch against Optic Gaming. They look like they want to get right back into that grand finals. I'm seeing FaZe look different. I'm somehow seeing the determination in their eyes, and I'm just staring at a bunch of Spartan screens.
Yeah, Optics looks really good. They look really disciplined, really clean. A lot of the gameplay we watched earlier when they 3-0'd FaZe, I don't think FaZe is very happy with that. Of course, they're definitely looking for that rematch. 100% agreed. They've got to get through SSG first, and with a 9-kill lead, it's looking really good. One player I'm definitely focusing on for SSG, just having a little bit of a slow start, is gonna be Bound. He's kind of that individual player, but you notice when he starts to pop off, things start to change for this SSG roster. And right now, you know, looking like he hasn't really hit a flow just yet.
And like you said, no longer a double-digit lead here. SSG have eaten away at it. Not quite there just yet, but slow and steady. Sometimes we'll win the race. What started as a 13-kill lead for FaZe ends up dropping to as little as, what, 5 or 6 kills, and now a 42-37 game. But Renegade takes the piv on Bound. All 4 members of FaZe are up. Active camouflage here. Looks like Eco and Penguin having the positioning. It looks like Eco gets himself a killing spree. Nades going in. Snakebite answers right back with a double kill of his own, and that's active camouflage. Although tantalizing, although kind of flirty with both of these teams a little bit, just being used as bait until the right time, and this time it's Frosty that steals it away.
Yeah, I was gonna say SSG's one answer to potentially bring this back was that camo, but now they've got to deal with Frosty, and they do it very quickly. That's gonna be Penguin with a big kill right there. They get that trade out. A 4-kill game now, 46-42.
Every kill that goes by, every trade just makes this more and more possible, but also puts it more and more out of reach for SSG, because now FaZe only needing 3 more kills. Despite the fact it's only a 4-kill game, SSG have to value every single death right now. They cannot get average at any point in time. Snakebite over here on the utility side. He's gonna get spotted real quick. Stellar able to deal with him. Did he do enough damage for the rest of FaZe to pick up the pieces? It looks like the dynamo grenades are gonna be able to swallow up SSG here. Frosty then going down to one-shot, doubles back, tries to get that teamwork, and he knows that they're just playing for trades at the moment. FaZe only needing 1 more kill. It looks like all of SSG are funneling towards utility side, and World 2 like shooting fish in a barrel. FaZe are gonna go up 2-0, 1 win away from going back to yet another grand finals.
Wow, incredible job by FaZe. Honestly, they had, like you said, that 13-kill lead. SSG started to bring it back. Their answer was that camo. They ended up killing the camo very quickly, but then the trades came out. And again, like you said, Tony, you saw Frosty in that play, right? He turns around, no shields. All you got to do, get a couple of shots on the player so your teammate can clean it up. It was Royal 2 who cleaned up that kill. And then at that point, you've got numbers and you're able to continue to just go towards that 50-kill mark. Now we've got some replays to look at here. This was a big kill by Penguin, right? He gets the melee, they melee trade, but Penguin jumps up and gets the kill onto Frosty. That could have been their answer. Not getting that camo is one thing, but making sure to kill it quickly was their answer to come back there.
One thing I really noticed him, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, maybe I'm going crazy here,
Okay.
but I feel like with both game number 1 and game number 2, FaZe started off hot. They asserted dominance and immediately set the pace for the games, and SSG had to play catch up over toward the mid game just to get right back into it, having to make a last-ditch effort over and over again. But FaZe just had to kind of like, they're already at the edge of the cliff. FaZe just had to kind of blow on them or just kind of lightly nudge them to knock them off. I think in this game, SSG did just a hot start. They need to stop allowing FaZe to control that first and second quarter, because it's just harder to play from behind.
Tony, as much as I would love to tell you you're wrong because it just feels so good, I can't. You're absolutely correct. FaZe is starting off hot in every single one of these games. They're going to do it again here. They want this momentum going into that grand final. We talk about momentum all the time. If they're going to close out here, and you know, SSG still have obviously a chance to come back here. I think SSG played best on their back foot, but you know, if FaZe is looking to make sure that they can carry this momentum into that grand finals and get that rematch versus Optic.
Well, SSG, listen to me. They started with the early progression onto hill number 1. Eco with that stalker rifle and absolutely melting frosty nades and those red gun bullets. Just too much, and Eco wanted to hide in that corner for just a bit, but he knows FaZe callouts too good, so Shroud's out, goes over from the arcade side, Penguin sliding right in, but does he know that Renegade's still there? Okay, well, I say Renegade is still there, Penguin, go back.
Yeah, and I love the idea of Eco right there. Unfortunately, he does lose the red gun, but I like the idea of him understanding how important his life is, making sure to utilize that Shroud screen to stay alive with that red gun. He goes down, and as you can see, the minute he goes down, that entire setup is now broken. And now they've got to push once again, but FaZe is not able to get any time here. They don't really have a setup, and unfortunately, very weak are the players of FaZe, but they do get 2 kills, and this could be the answer that they're looking for, but Stellar comes in with a big kill. And another one on the Royal 2 as well. And once again, SSG, they did listen to you, Tony. They're looking hot to start this game.
Yeah, it's the value of like starting off with the lead. Like FaZe in game number 1 and game number 2, they start off really hot, and even when SSG began to catch up, they were like, what, 1 round of slaves from being able to tip it over. Every hill on streets is like a mini game. SSG started off hot, all they needed was a few kills to go right back in. They weathered the storm, and although FaZe caught up, eventually SSG kind of did exactly to FaZe what FaZe had done to them in game number 1 and game number 2. But now you got to do it, what, 4 more times, or at least 2 more times in order to come out with the win here and play that timer. So FaZe early progression onto hill number 2. World 2 getting the triple kill with those rockets, and FaZe have a huge advantage. Penguin gonna just wait for the spawning players.
Honestly, I have a conspiracy theory, okay? I think SSG are one of the best content orgs in the game, okay? I think their content is phenomenal. I think the players are just in on it, okay? They want to bring it, you know, go down 0-2 in the series so they can bring a reverse sweep, and that's why we never see the best of Spacestation until their backs are against the wall. We're seeing that right here. They're up 1-0 in this, but FaZe have answered back. They're already halfway through their first hill on this C plat, and they're looking to close this out, but they need that one more kill, and they get it.
I mean, we all know boxing, the NBA, and HCS are all scripted, and it's just according to the script right now. But Snakebite doing to the script what I do with papers. He's just tossing it out. The beautiful shots with that stalker rifle from long range, and looks like him and Frosty working a bit of a 1-2 combo onto Penguin. SSG already punching that hill and trying to set up early for the next one, but they end up going 3 down, and FaZe just running right through them. Penguin inbound. The last 2 members love that spawn. It's gonna work out well for SSG. And looks like they have to try to chase FaZe out. They have a second chance to defend this A side of the map.
Yeah, FaZe did such a good job there on that tram hill to create space on purple side. They push through. They want to set up for this new one. They get the slays. Now all 4 dead for SSG. They're able to get control of A, and now they have control of the Bulldog as well, with information of where SSG is spawning.
World 2, man, the purple side having Penguin and Eco in front of him. Rockets coming up, so World 2, does he defend the purple side? Does he double back and go for the rockets? It looks like he's able to deal with one. Does he know that Penguin went right up the mid? The movement out of World 2 to stay alive, sliding back and forward, and looking like he was dancing a little salsa right there, but eventually World 2 goes down, and the rest of SSG are able to push up through it. Stellar already behind enemy lines, and FaZe having to make a bit of a longer rotation from the C to the A, and that's tough to do when SSG are watching every angle.
Yeah, and all SSG need to do is just get them off that purple side. That's going to force them to spawn on PD and going to give them angles on this hill again. It looks like Eco is pushed up all the way on this B side. He has no shields, but again, it's all about creating that space. Right now, he's going to be overwhelmed, though. He has to try and stay alive or do as much damage as possible, and he does just that.
Down to Penguin getting back-to-back kills. Somehow Penguin able to stay alive in the arcade side. The man ain't playing any games right now. Well executed by SSG to execute FaZe right off the map of the streets, and now FaZe spawning toward the seaside. I don't think anybody's gonna be able to get in position in time to get SSG out of this hill. We might see a 2-1 lead for SSG, and now we're moving right in towards that beast, or excuse me, that cafe side. And who has the advantage here?
I mean, the cafe side, I think that, obviously Bound being on this side of the map was such a huge play right there, right? You saw they got the slays on that very last play, Tony, and then they kind of moved over towards cafe to make sure to block and force the spawns onto C. Because of that, they have this entire A side to themselves, and it's going to take FaZe getting a couple kills here to break this setup once again. But FaZe look like they're in the driver's seat right now. They've got SSG on their back foot with one dead.
Reversal kill coming out of Frosty right there, but the rest of FaZe do find their way over towards that hill. A 1v1 gunfight between Renegade and Stellar turns into a 1v2 because Bound comes in out of nowhere. Luckily, Frosty coming in with that Sentinel beam quickly, putting it to work once again, taking down Eco and just manning this hill. None shall pass. None shall get close. When Frosty is here in this hill, everybody clear out. Sentinel beam too good.
Love the pings by Snakebite as well. Stellar going to be isolated there. They're going to take him out. Look at the confidence out of Frosty, right? He has the information. There's a player weak, trying to get that pre-fire down. Again, every time you get a kill, if you're FaZe, you're just able to continue to get this time because look, the numbers advantage is a thing, but look, it looks like right now it's a 3v3 situation. It's up to Frosty to get this kill. He does not get it. That's 2 down for FaZe. SSG going to be pushing now.
And I feel like that was a must-win hill for FaZe. I mean, how many times have we seen a team go up 3-1 and go toward that middle hill and just play 3 minutes worth of Slayer? FaZe literally had to answer back to tie things up, and now we go to the mid-hill. I oftentimes call this the hardest hill in Halo Infinite to capture, because at least it feels that way. Starts from the seaside setup, and I think you like the fact that SSG are already there, Tim.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna bring up. It's like you read my mind. They were already on C. They get us set up early, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna make it very difficult for FaZe to get in that middle hill. But look, Frosty's gonna be the one to break that one, and now it's FaZe to fight on their own on this side of the map, and they do just that. 3 down for SSG. Stellar, the last man alive, and he's on that purple side.
FaZe look really confident, whether it's the individual gunfights or whether it's the team fights. FaZe just looks so confident and comfortable on the map. Wow. Renegade just, as he's moonwalking backward, just firing random shots in and just peels off Stellar. I feel like I saw the confusion on his reticle right there. Like, did I just get a kill right there? Like, I was just trying to stay alive.
He's trying to de-scope, but it's a beautiful flick that nets him a kill. Because of that, they're able to net another one. Rockets are coming up very shortly. Renegade's so aggressive. That's the thing about Renegade. Again, it's that unorthodox play style where he plays so incredibly aggressive, but he just throws off so many players on so many teams.
About 25% of this hill already going to FaZe. And SSG haven't managed to get like a clean round of slays, though. That easy 2 or even 3 down that they so desperately need at the moment. Even the shotgun, not enough to keep Bound alive as FaZe clear them right off the streets. Add even more hill time that they already have. You see Renegade looking to break the seaside setup. And what's an easy way to break the setup? Oh yeah, get the rockets over there.
They've got all the power-ups. He's got the shotgun as well. He's got the shroud screen, and now he's got SSG trapped on B. If he stays alive here, this could be very good for FaZe, as they're really focused on getting him off this side of the map, but ends up playing his life and now utilizing this shotgun to get more kills on a Penguin who it is unexpecting. There it is. Halfway through this hill is FaZe, and they're just kind of playing slow at this point, but Bound, that's a big kill out of him. If he can get this shotty, potentially he can do some damage on this break.
And what's crazy to me is that, you know, halfway to progression done with FaZe, and I feel like as time starts to wind down, like eventually we get close to that sudden death where we had, what, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If this would have been like maybe a minute hill and we move on to the B side, Spacestation game have an opportunity to come back. But as time winds down, eventually if FaZe win this hill, it's over. But I guess the same thing can be said for SSG. Not out of it just yet. As time winds down, if they steal it, it's gonna end right here, right now. Only 32 seconds on the clock as long as somebody is out of the hill.
Yeah, but Eco's playing such an impact here on the top of C, right? He's putting so much damage into anyone from FaZe that pushes through. They're not able to get any ball time out of that. Well, look at the read right there from Bound. It's going to be Bound who reads the push from Royal 2, but Royal 2 stays alive. What that does now is force Eco to have to back up off a seaside, and that's what that's going to cause is that's going to cause FaZe to be able to get control of this hill. So Royal 2 makes a huge play right there. Eco's in trouble. He's got to play his life.
10 seconds on the clock. FaZe once again slide right back into that hill. SSG have to come out of spawn and get them out immediately, because otherwise they're just gonna play time. Renegade comes in with the kill onto Stellar. Penguin and Bound answering right back. Huge kills by Bound and Penguin, but World 2, like the sneaky rat he is, hiding in the trash, comes out quick, gets himself the kill, and now they just have to keep SSG out for 2 more seconds in order to pull off the sweep. Penguin literally has to straight line it right towards the hill, but eventually SSG are out. 1 more second left. World 2 challenging Bound. They get wiped, and that's gonna be it. FaZe, they 3-0 SSG. They 3-0 SSG.
Wow. A 3-0 on SSG. FaZe look hungry for the rematch, and they're gonna get exactly what they want.
Let them cook.
Let them cook. Microwave, oven, whatever you want to use. It looked like they used the microwave in this match, Tony, because that was quick.
We talked about it. When this hill started, it was 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock, and although FaZe looked dominant, time just kept winding down. And you mentioned that they almost felt like they were playing a little bit slower than they had to. Maybe they were overslaying just a bit, and that must have been exactly a part of the plan right there. Continue to drain the clock so that this way, when they take that hill, it ends the game. And that's exactly what FaZe do. And that, I can't even imagine a world where SSG gets swept, but we just saw it. They're going down in 3rd place, and FaZe are going to get their rematch against Optic and hopefully do to them what they just did to Space Station, at least in that first series, because it's going to take 2 in order for FaZe to become your champion.
Tony, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I've brought this hot take out pretty many times, right? I thought that Optic versus FaZe at Charlotte was one of the best grand finals, one of the best series I've seen in my 2 decades watching Halo. I would love to see something like that coming into this match. We've got another best of 7 once again. And these two teams very, very evenly matched. But Tony, we saw that 3-0 out of Optic Gaming. I mean, very unorthodox to see Optic Gaming 3-0 FaZe right there in their last match. Now they get a rematch again. You think FaZe come with the firepower that's necessary?
I think no matter what the result is, I think FaZe is going to look a lot different in this grand finals that we saw in that winners bracket. And obviously Optic were looking dominant. Optic were looking so good, and rightfully so. I'm not going to take anything from them. But that 3-0 from FaZe, in my opinion, was necessary. That just gives you that confidence right back in and say, oh, we still are those guys. Let's go in and hit that mental reset button. Forget everything that happened up until this point forward, and you got to go at Optic whatever. You got to empty the tank. You got to show the world that you are those guys again once again. So I think FaZe is going to come in with a newfound energy. I think they're going to come in excited, going to come in hype, and I'm ready for it. No matter what the outcome is, this is going to be a different type of energy going into this event against Optic, and nobody is